Rick. Just wanted to congratulate you on your retirement. I hope you'll have a retirement that's fun, happy, and active. I'm sure you will. Also, wanted to thank you and express my gratitude for how welcoming you were to me to when I joined Shuttleworth and Ingersoll in 1998, and for being such a good partner over the years. Wish you all the best of luck, Rick, in your retirement. See you soon.
Congratulations on your retirement, Rick. You will always be a huge part of my memories at Shuttleworth and Ingersoll. From fun times in Galena at firm retreats, to letting me tag along with you to hearings and depositions, to grabbing lunch at the Flying Weenie or having a drink at Bricks after work with the group, to that time that you suggested that maybe I should have my car looked at, and then the tie rod fell off right as I pulled into the repair shop. You've been a great partner, a wise mentor, and you maybe even saved my life that one time with the whole car thing. I hope that you enjoy every moment of your retirement. You deserve it. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Rick, on your retirement. You deserve it. I appreciate all the tutelage you have given me over my 20 years of practice. When I first came to Shuttleworth, you were one of the first lawyers I worked with and learned how to become a trial lawyer, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for all the times you took me under your wing and showed me how to do a motorcycle accident reconstruction or a bank issue. You had so many different types of cases that you worked on and involved me in on, and I'm grateful for that. Enjoy your time with Greer and the children and the grandchildren. You deserve it, and we hope to see you still at future events, particularly swinging that golf club. Take care.
Hi, Rick. I just wanted to congratulate you on your retirement and wish you all the best. I hope that you'll finally have time to relax, to enjoy time with friends and family, and engage in all of the things that you probably haven't had time to do over the span of your career. Best of luck to you, and I really hope to continue to see you around the office from time to time.
Rick, thanks so much for all you've done for the firm. It's really remarkable. We're sure going to miss having you around, and I wish you the very best in your retirement.
Congratulations, Rick. Enjoy your retirement.
Rick, it's really hard to put into words how important you have been to my life as a lawyer and at Shuttleworth and Ingersoll. From day one, you've been here, and it goes from the early days sorting mail together up on 7 to many questions of the day to sharing thoughts about Supreme Court opinions after we skim them in our respective offices on Friday mornings, to making the first pot of coffee on Saturday morning, and possibly with a donut involved, and lots and lots of dog stories. And I did notice when I wrote that out or thought about it that a lot of those involved early morning, and that's kind of what we shared. And more important than those memories, those good memories, is your wise counsel that you've always provided me on all matters, legal matters, as well as office matters. I really appreciate you. You're selfless and a natural leader. You're legally smart, and I've always thought that. You're a good, loyal friend, and you're perceptive and have discernment. And I'll miss having you around more. And there was a reason I kind of jumped at the chance to come to FOR to be next to you and Dick. And I'll just conclude with what I've heard you say a million times. Take the rest of the day off.
Rick, congratulations on your retirement. Well deserved. You've had an outstanding career, not only as a trial lawyer, but also as a firm leader, a mentor, and just a great partner. I'm sitting here and I've got my Dean's Cup coat on, and appreciate all the time we've been able to spend together playing golf and otherwise. Um, Truly have appreciated all that you've done to help me as I got started on my legal career. Um, Best of luck to you in the future, and no doubt you should take the rest of the day off. Thanks, Rick.
Congratulations, Rick, on an outstanding career as one of Shuttleworth and Ingersoll's best lawyers ever. Here's a sampling of good memories. Your 39th birthday party in the 5th floor break room, hosted by your secretary, Norma. That farmland trial in Anamosa, you were the master in the courtroom, and you coached me on how to write a better post-closing brief. Golfing in the rain with you and Gary on that par 3 golf course after everybody else had given up. One time I showed you the draft of a letter that I suggested we should send to someone who had sent me a mean-spirited letter. And you said, "Bill, that's a good, fair letter. You've stated your position well, but don't send it." That was good advice. Sorting the mail on 7th floor with you and Bob Daniel. Who would have guessed how much I'd learn about the firm from that experience? Your personable touch and inclusive style as the firm's managing partner. Those years were so good in so many ways. Fussing with you over the firm's finances and other topics. Will this year finish better than last year? It always did. The frequent trips to Clancy's to check out suits, ties, shirts, and one time we even bought top hats. There was that tough state administration case in Northeast Iowa that you and I agreed to take. 3 court hearings later, and with major assistance from Dana, we came away with a bittersweet win. Birthday lunches at the meat market, the shack, and other places that you and Dick picked out. I'll finish with these lines. Friends may come and friends may go, and friends may fizzle out, you know. But we'll be friends through thick and thin. And Rick, please come back and visit us again and again.
Hello, Ricko. I'm here to do a tribute for my friend Rick Fry. We call him Ricko. I've practiced law with Rick for many years. He's been a confidant, a friend, and he's a lot of fun. And we always have lots of stories about Rick. And one of the things that Rick has is he has sayings that he says, and we call them Rickisms. Most of the Rickisms I cannot say on this because it would be inappropriate, and Rick can tell you off camera. But there's one that I quote all the time, and that is, "No good deed goes unpunished." And Rick, after I would tell him how I tried to do something, usually in a nonprofit volunteer capacity at the Y or otherwise, he'd say, "You know, Steve-O, no good deed goes unpunished." Anyway, that's a typical Rick thing. And again, there are others, but Rick's a fun guy. He's the best golfer I've ever known, and so are his kids. And I'm going to miss him. He's always sort of looked down on me because I'm a cyclone, but he's forgiven me for that, he said, although he's a clone hater and his kids are clone haters and his grandkids are clone haters, and he's going to make sure everybody he knows that, and that they're all clone haters, and that he doesn't hold it against me. He still calls it that college in Ames. He doesn't call it Iowa State University, which is another thing. He also said if he would have known I was a clone when he interviewed me, he never would have allowed them to hire me. But in any event, we're going to miss you, Rick. I guess some of the things that you've done over the years are, you're sort of a rascal. You're kind of a practical joker, and you've done some pretty good ones. But you and Dick probably have gotten each other more than anybody. And some of the ones that you've done to each other are classic. So we have lots of Rick stories. Anyway, enjoy playing golf, doing whatever you're going to do, and we'll miss you. And stay in touch. Bye.
Hey, Rick. All the Kilbergs you know wish you a very happy and wonderful retirement. It's been a pleasure working with such a gentleman and style icon.
Mr. Fry, congratulations on your retirement. You will be missed at the firm. You are one of those people that made the firm feel like a home. I will never forget you taking time out of your busy schedule to show me around Cedar Rapids with Connie when I was trying to decide what part of Cedar Rapids to move to, and taking me to the Starlight Diner for those burgers. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your retirement.
Rick, congratulations on your retirement. You, perhaps more than any person I know, are a Shuttleworth attorney. You're a lawyer's lawyer, and I knew as soon as I joined the firm, and especially as soon as I worked with you, that that's what I wanted to be also. You gave me the chance to work on your files right when I started, and your generosity, your kindness, the respect you show for everyone in your life was clear to me before I even started at the firm. I remember going on a lunch with you when I was interviewing to be a summer clerk, and I remember you complimented my shoes, which is something that you and I shared for a long time after that, and just feel so lucky to have had the chance to practice with you, to be your friend, to be your mentee. It's been very meaningful. I'm going to miss your guidance. I'm going to miss your humor. I'm going to miss having someone to talk about the sales on the Alden website, or my favorite shade of cordovan. I'm so happy for your retirement, so proud of the career you've had, and just pleased to count you as a friend. Be well, Rick.
Hey, Rick. It's not a lot of fun to do this. When I think back on how many years I've known you at the firm, I couldn't decide whether I needed to put on a coat and tie for this, and if I needed to iron my jeans. So you're just have to take me as I am. As I think back over the years that I've known you, I've never seen anybody who was as selfless as you are, whether it was helping clients, helping other lawyers in the office, neighbors and friends around the community. You always seem to be able to put other people first and never take any recognition from what you've done. People underestimate how good a lawyer you are. You were always organized. You always understood the issues. You were a tough but fair advocate. But probably what I remember most about you was your leadership of the firm in some really tough times. You were never afraid to tell people what they needed to hear and should hear, but you always did it in a kind and respectful way, and really helped us grow and prosper and be in a position to be as strong as we are today. Those are qualities that many people aspire to, but aren't able to really capture and put into effect. You've been a stalwart member of the community. Your work with the History Center and the theater come to mind immediately as two great legacies that you should be very proud of as being a major factor in those two organizations' strengths that they have today. So I hope this retirement gives you more time to play golf, more time to get out to the coast to see the girls, up to Dubuque to see Chris and the grandkids, and I just couldn't be happier for you. I hope that you're able to look back on these years with pride and satisfaction, because you certainly deserve to do so. So all the best. You're coming into the office on Sunday mornings to steal some of the coffee I work so hard to make, but I'm sure you'll find better uses of your time than that. So take care, and thanks for everything.
Hi, Rick. Just wanted to say congratulations on retirement. Gonna miss talking basketball and golf with you. And it hasn't been the same here since you left the seventh floor and went down to four. You still own the record of most times passing my office in one single day at 128. Again, congrats on retirement.
Congratulations, Rick, on a job well done. You've been an outstanding friend and mentor. Your legal career was absolutely fantastic. You were a great leader of the firm for many years. We all really, really appreciate everything you've done for us. I hope that our lunches with Dick and Bill on an annual basis go on in perpetuity. I fondly remember our time trying the Killian case. I wish we had a few other cases under our belt together, but whenever I had anything going on, you were always a terrific help, and I really appreciate it always. I hope you enjoy your family, your friends, drink a lot of good wine, play a lot of good golf, and relax and enjoy yourself for the rest of the life. And I hope you live a long and happy one.
Hi, Rick. Congratulations on your retirement and your 46 years at Shuttleworth. We will dearly miss you at the office, especially all the shenanigans between you and Dick on the fourth floor. I hope you are enjoying your retirement. Hope to see you soon.
Hey, Rick, a very heartfelt congratulations on your retirement. I'll always remember whenever we talked, you were always down to earth, very kind, and contributed to I think the great culture of the firm. So thank you. I hope you enjoy your retirement.
Hi, Rick. Congratulations on your retirement. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, Rick. Just wanted to take a moment, congratulate you on your upcoming retirement. Thank you for everything you've done for me over the past 2 decades. Obviously, I appreciate everything you've done to make me a better litigator, but more importantly, I really appreciate all the wonderful things you've done for not only myself, but everybody else in the firm. You're a truly great guy and a great attorney, and you'll be greatly missed. So enjoy your retirement. Hopefully, we can get out on the golf course together at some point and have some fun out there. So thanks again for everything, Rick. Congratulations and enjoy the retirement.
Congratulations on your retirement. Best wishes as you enjoy the fruits of all your hard work now and spend time with your family and friends. And I wish you the best and congratulations.
Hi, Rick. I guess it's time to say goodbye to you. I can't believe it's been almost 26 years since I drove over from Chicago and interviewed with you, Gary, and Tom Collins. You hired me, and for that I'm very thankful. I can say that the last 2.5 decades have all been from that simple fact that you took the chance and hired me. And I've loved every minute in Cedar Rapids and made my life here, and it's all attributed to you and Gary. When I first started working here, I still had a house in the suburbs that we had to sell, so I came by myself. Rick set me up with an apartment in Czech Village, Rick and Gary did. And I was commuting back and forth every weekend to Chicago, so not a lot of fun driving that back and forth for months. And when Rick took note of that, he came and insisted that I take off at noon on Friday so I could get home. I think that's kind of indicative of the kind of person and the kind of boss he was to me. Rick and I, of course, have different favorite sports teams here. And as you can imagine, Rick and I have had a lot of fun, a lot of anguish over the years, teasing each other about the Cyclones and the Hawks. And what's worse than having the Cyclones choke a big game was knowing I had to go into the office and wait for Rick to poke his smirking face in. So thanks for everything, Rick. I appreciate everything you've done for me, and all the best to you.
Good morning. My name is Dick Garberson, and I'm here at the office this morning to make a few comments about my good friend, Rick Fry, my law partner, Rick Fry, for many years, who's retiring effective today, December 31st, 2020. I'm really here, honestly, at great personal sacrifice, and I want everybody to know and appreciate that. I retired May 1st, and this is the first time since May 1st that I've had a collar shirt on. And I want to go back to sweatshirts as soon as we're off the video camera here. Rick's professional accomplishments and skills, I'm sure, have been commented about by many, many others. He is a very, very talented attorney, not only in areas of litigation, but almost everything else, to be perfectly honest. Rick, as an attorney, and this is probably the highest praise I can say about Rick, is in my eyes one of the most accomplished problem solvers I've ever met. Rick is so good at solving problems and getting to the heart of the dispute and sorting out potential resolutions, and that is certainly his strong suit. He's been our intra-office go-to guy when somebody has a thorny legal problem or personal problem. Rick's door is open and has been for decades, and in a very short amount of time, inevitably, Rick had a solution that seemed to work. Like I say, he's been the go-to guy, and I'm proud to say that about Rick. But beyond his professional accomplishments, which are legion, it's the rest that's really the most funny and most interesting, and some little known things about Rick that I'm certainly willing to share at some personal embarrassment from time to time. I thought about where to start in talking about Rick outside of law, and I think the proper place is the beginning. Now, not the beginning of time, that would be way too far back, and none of us want to think about that. But by the beginning, I mean my connection with Rick. My connection with Rick began on July 1, 1974, which was my first day as an associate attorney at Shuttleworth Ingersoll. Rick started January 1, 1974, so he was my senior by 6 months. Much older man than I am, of course, but my senior in terms of seniority at the office. I was the 13th out of 13 lawyers. We were on 11th floor of the U.S. Bank building, then Merchants National Bank building at the time. And I learned very quickly that Rick was a graduate of, I think it was called then Iowa State Teachers College, which is now UNI. After he graduated, he went into the military. And this was a time that, for many people watching this, they really won't remember and certainly won't appreciate the significance. It was the Vietnam War era. And that was not a very happy time for many, many Americans. And I kidded Rick regularly about his service in the military because he was stationed in Lincoln, Nebraska. And he proudly proclaimed, actually crowed, that during his service in Lincoln, there had been no North Vietnam problems in Lincoln at all. And that's the most Rick could say about that. Then, starting in 1977, Rick and I lived literally across the street from each other on Garden Drive Southeast, which is kind of in the extended Vernon Heights area of Cedar Rapids. And inevitably, we left the parking ramp most evenings about the same time. Rick would like to say he stayed a few minutes longer than me, but that's not true. And we thought it would be kind of interesting to see who could get home first, naturally. Rick had a very ugly green fastback 3-speed stick transmission Mustang, and I had a bright red flashy Volkswagen Beetle. So originally our efforts to get home first involved different routes, which route was fastest. And we quickly figured out that 3rd Avenue east toward the east part of Cedar Rapids was the fastest route. And at that time, 3rd Avenue was one way in that and looked a lot like the Cordova drag strip to both of us. So we started using that as the route home. Now, the statute of limitations has not entirely run on this endeavor, so the most I can say about that is that I'm credibly informed that there were multiple observations of a dark green Mustang and a bright red Volkswagen Beetle going up 3rd Avenue East, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. I deny that I was involved, of course, but I should also say that I got home first most of the time. Like I said, we lived literally across the street from each other. And one nice summer evening, I was in my house, and all of a sudden I hear this terribly loud thunking against the side of the house. We just had new aluminum siding put on the house, and I was very proud of that. It was very costly. And I go out the door, and here's Rick and his next door neighbor, Bob B. We'll just use that as a name. They were standing in Rick's front yard trying to hit golf balls over our house with 9-irons. And they were hitting the side of the house, and that was what the clunking noise was. And I shouted to stop it, and it looked like 2 5th-grade boys scurrying away who'd just been caught throwing snowballs at a passing school bus. I'll remember that forever. My Volkswagen was because it had rear-wheel drive, and put snow tires on it, and a motor in the rear, of course. It was terrific in the snow. So there was one occasion when it had snowed lightly, just a couple inches, that I drove up Rick's driveway, drove around in his yard behind the house, drove around the side of the house, drove through the front yard of the house, back out into Garden Drive. And it was fun. So I did it a second time. And to this day, Rick is frustrated that I'd been able to drive around his house like that. He couldn't drive around mine. He did caution me shortly after this event happened that I'd driven directly over his cistern, which is a big hollow cement area that captured rainwater from the roof, and I was in danger of collapsing the cistern and me collapsing into the cistern with the car. I also learned from living across the street from Rick that he didn't own a pair of blue jeans, hadn't owned blue jeans for decades. He does own a pair now, but they're the kind that are pleated and pressed and have cuffs, which really, of course, don't count. But I learned this because I kept seeing Rick mowing the yard. And he had one of those nice push lawn boy gas-powered mowers, but he was mowing the yard in slacks, loafers, and a Gant shirt that was really much nicer than the shirt I have on now. Rick and I also officed together here in the office, right next door to each other. Our offices adjoined for many years. They do now, as a matter of fact, but there was a time on 5th floor where we were directly next to each other. And one morning, I was in my office and I heard this loud crack. Never heard a sound quite like that. And then I heard an expletive shortly after the crack, and I ran around the corner, and here was Rick holding a golf club. He's a great golfer. He really is a great golfer. And he'd taken a practice swing in his office, swung all the way around and hit the glass on his desk and shattered it. Rick was a little embarrassed about that, and I'm a little embarrassed to tell you that Rick never repaid the office the $100 to replace the glass. So the senior members of the firm here, Rick, have asked me to remind you to pay the $100 plus about $3,000 in accumulated interest. I retired May 1st of this year, 2020. It's the best thing I ever did. Since then, Rick's wife Greer has been paying me a modest monthly stipend to get Rick out of the house. Rick has been partially retired this year, but not fully retired. And to Greer, I say, Greer, we're going to have to renegotiate that sum now that Rick's retired, because my responsibilities are going to be materially different, and you're going to have to dip into retirement savings, I think, in order to fairly compensate me for getting Rick off your hands. My wish to Rick, among all things important, is that in retirement, I just hope Rick has half as much fun as I've had since May 1st. I have thoroughly enjoyed not worrying about things that we lawyers at Shuttleworth worry about on behalf of clients. I've on my phone, I've got one of those Google Map apps, and it tracks what you do, interestingly. And every once in a while, I get an update. And literally this year, it said I've traveled more than 90% of the way around the Earth in miles. And I haven't left the Midwest. And I don't think Rick will drive as much as I have, but I hope he enjoys his retirement like I've enjoyed mine. Paraphrasing from St. Augustine, let me say this about Rick. The key to attorney excellence is first living a life that's worth remembering. And that's Rick Fry. Rick, good luck to you. And let me say, in parting, Dexter's leaving the building.
Rick, it seems like a long time ago that you were at Garden Drive and I was on Eastern Boulevard. As a matter of fact, it was a long time ago. It was 50 years ago. You've only moved once since then, as I recall, and I've moved several times. And I think that says quite a bit about what a solid individual that you are. You've always been that way. You were a tremendous leader at this office in the 80s. You became a leader of the office and president of the office when we really needed a strong person to take the helm of the office. You did it. You did it very lovingly. You dealt with a lot of very tough issues that people will never know about. And I think that for 5 or 10 years, you were really the heart and soul of this place. You listened to both sides in every argument. I know that it troubled you to have to make a decision to have one person be successful and the other not, but you always did a good job. I remember one conversation in particular when I asked you to favor me or another lawyer in the office, and you said that you weren't going to do it, that you could no longer play favorites, that you had a fiduciary duty to the office to maintain the office and let the office be the number one consideration, not any individual. Few people know, remember, or probably give a damn about us all putting all of our pension and profit sharing plans in this office in order to keep the place afloat when we were up on the 11th floor. And you were a big part of that effort as well. Throughout it all, you've done a great job of keeping friendships, and particularly our friendship, intact. I recall that while I was out traveling around doing some of that work for Dalcon Shield, you were kind enough to take my daughters to Girl Scouts. I remember you signing affidavits when it probably wasn't in your best interest to sign an affidavit, and I remember all the hot water that you got in, and I'm glad that didn't affect you politically. I remember once complaining to you that I was short funds for an investment that I wanted to make in South Dakota, and out of the goodness of your heart, when you really didn't have 40 grand, you told me that you'd give me $40,000, loan it to me so that I could complete the investment. You did that without me asking you to do so. I really question how many people down here would do that today, but it just shows the type of friend you were and the type of leader that you were. I only can find fault with two things that you've done throughout the course of your career in our 50 years. The first is that you failed to pay Pat Roby and me $5 on the Roosevelt Hotel bet on how much Sud Cook got out of the Hotel Roosevelt. The second is that you hooked me, screwed me, took advantage of me, in that great Macallan's whiskey trade that we made 3 or 4 years ago. I probably will forgive you with time, even though we won't continue our relationship down here at the office. I look forward to continuing our friendship and fishing with you and enjoying our remaining years together. All the best.
Congratulations, Rick, on your retirement. You've been such a steady force in our firm, and we are so grateful and appreciative of all that you've done for us. I wish you and Greer the very best. One of my favorite stories of you was my first interview here at Shuttleworth and Ingersoll. It was a little bit intimidating for me. I interviewed with you, and I believe Dick Garberson and Steve Pace in your corner office on 7th floor. And when you found out I was a Northeast Iowa gal, you were telling me about a litigation case you had involving a cooperative and an electrician. And so you told me about the case, and at the end of your story, I said, and the electrician won. And you were surprised that I would know anything about this matter, but the electrician happened to be my dad, and you represented the cooperative, and so you kind of knew me already. But in any event, that's kind of a funny story that has stuck with me, and I so appreciate the leadership role and the work you've done for our firm and our community. Best wishes.
We practiced law together for 50 years. We both came to the firm at about the same time. A lot has changed in 50 years. When we started, Rick, you'll recall we did a lot of things. We go to the post office to pick up the mail once or twice a day, and you and I would walk over to the post office, which was on First Street, it's now the City Hall, to get the mail. And over time, we developed a strong friendship. We were also neighbors at the law firm. Our offices were near each other, and it was really special for me to get to come into your office virtually every day and just say hello, or you'd stop by and say hello to me. We also shared a lot of interests together. In the early days, we both prepared tax returns, and we somewhat regularly examined abstracts. Now, there would be questions that would arise, and we would convene what we called Property Club. And we'd call Mike McDermott, who was a real expert in property, and the three of us would hash out what the questions were. It was a lot of fun. We also shared together what some might consider a rather unusual interest. We both liked shoes. Now, I never asked you why you had such an interest in shoes. I can tell you that I had a 4E width foot with a high instep, and when I could find a pair of shoes that would fit, I bought them. But we both take great pride in showing each other our new shoes and looking then in later years on the internet at various shoes for sale. We had a lot of fun together. We worked hard together. We worked smart together. And we were very successful. Shuttleworth and Ingersoll was a family. And families have disagreements. And they go through some stressful times. But you, Rick, were a leader at the firm. And you exemplified the glue that held our firm together. You were always fair, level-headed, and provided all of us with wise counsel and good advice. Rick, thank you for your friendship, and thank you for your leadership in the firm. All of us owe you a debt of gratitude. You grew up in Kelowna, Rick, and you never forgot your roots. and they served you well. They provided a sound foundation and a real sense of justice and compassion. And so I congratulate you on taking this next step. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be great. I know it may be difficult for Greer, but she'll persevere. I look forward to visiting with you and seeing you in the future, taking a look to see what kind of shoes you have on. In the meantime, Rick, take care and Godspeed, my friend.
Rick, congratulations on your retirement. We sure are going to miss having you around on a daily basis. Thanks so much for all you've done for the firm. We owe you so much in terms of gratitude for not just being such a tremendous lawyer, but also your leadership for the firm over the years and friendship. I know I'm going to miss some of those walk around tours that you do on a daily basis just to check in and offer some wisdom. And I bet our professional attire in the office is going to take a step back with you not being here. One of the best dressed lawyers that I've ever been around. So congratulations. Hope you enjoy the retirement. And I trust you won't be too far away if we need you. Thanks.